Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, it's Dr. Phil here, and I thought I'd just do a little bit of a piece on rubs. And I'm sure most of you know what rubs are. If you don't, well, I'm going to tell you anyway. I'm not assuming that most of my audience are idiots, because most of my audience are definitely not. So at any rate, these are my rubs, and if you want to know what a rub is, basically it's when you get a whole heap of rough opal. That's the stuff that's essentially mined out of the ground, and then you kind of cut it into a shape and you get all the most attractive opal you can find and put it into the one place ready to become a stone. This is an example of a boulder rub. Now, most of you, of course, already know what a rub is, and you're just interested in what I've got here. I will be going into an explanation of what a doublet is as well, but I'm sure everyone knows what a doublet is, but if you don't, well, you're going to find out soon. So that's an interesting stone here. If we're going to talk about doublets, we may as well do it now. So this is a piece of opal, which is nice on its own right, but as you can see, it's perfectly clear. A lot of black opals, especially the ones that are really valuable, are opaque. But this one has practically got no opacity to it whatsoever, and it's a beautiful stone, and you like it probably when you look at it, but it doesn't look like some of the amazing stones that pop out that you see sometimes. So what is the solution to that? All you need to do is you need to put it onto essentially a black background, and we've got one here. I'll just stick it down here, show you. Even better, I'll flip it over. Have a look at that. Can you see that? All of a sudden, it's gone from absolutely zero to hero. And I've got this piece of stone here, and this one is a beautiful stone on its own right. I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to pop this onto here and just show you what it would look like if I glued this onto the back of it. All of a sudden, we've got a beautiful stone. That's what doubleting is. So if you do it right, it's beautiful. And there's nothing wrong with making a doublet. They're beautiful stones in their own right. It's just when you do, you just declare that the thing's a doublet. You don't just sell it as a stone and pretend that it's a solid stone. That's a bit naughty. So this one is a stone. This one, by the way, is one that I found in a previous vid actually, and I managed to cut it down to this, and now it's looking nice and beautiful. I like that one. That's probably one of my favs. Actually, I'll get my favourites out now. This one is one of my favourites. It's a bit too thin, so it's one of those line balls. Should I doublet it or not? If I can get away with it, I will make it a solid stone. It might still be one. This one here. Now this one probably wouldn't end up being a valuable stone. Oh, reasonably valuable, but not one of those amazing stones. It's got just a mossy pattern, whatever they call it. But I just like it, and I like the kind of the green shimmer that it's got. So it's one of my favourites, probably not one of the world favourites though. This one, the world will probably like a bit better because it's just so shiny. So if we have a look, let me flip it around. You can see that all these colours, so it doesn't really matter that it's light in colour. It's just got heaps of personality and colour and pop and zing and all the other words that people tend to use that are pretty artsy. Quite an amazing stone in its own right. This one here I like because it's just a crystal opal on a backing. So basically what it does, it describes a scene. So I'll be polishing this one clear, and I'll be keeping that back stuff on if I can, even if it does mean that some of the sand is actually going to show through to the sides, because once again, it's a stone that people don't tend to think are valuable, but I like anyway. I like to create like an underwater scenery kind of thing, and this is perfect for that, and it's got nice shimmery effects and stuff, so I like that. So a favourite of mine, not necessarily a particularly valuable one, but a nice favourite. This one, Dilemma Stone Plus. Look at how bright that is, but you can see that the brightness stops. So I'm probably better off just cutting that bit off, and it is very thin once again. So it's one of those stones you go, should I make a doublet out of it? Should I not? Who knows? Watch this space as far as that stone's concerned. This one here, another, I think this one's got enough behind it to make a stone on its own right, even though it is quite thin. You can see that material that's still attached to it. So long as that material isn't loose and comes off, it should be fine. So that'll probably end up as a stone on its own. We'll see how those cracks go. If the cracks go away, then it's fine. This guy here is one of Riley Gunn's. Are you watching this, Riley? It's a monster. It's several carats, maybe 3 or 4. One thing I can tell you is that, like, looking at it, it's a better stone to look at than possibly to see just on a video. It's a real monster, and it's got an awful lot of beautiful and subtle colour, and I think it's a matrix opal too. You never know, this one might actually be one that you can treat, but this one looks great just the way it is, so I'm not bothering. Here's another one that I'm going to be testing out. Once you shine it all up, you never know what they do. Once again, you could put a black background on it, but you might not need to. We'll see what happens with that one. Might make a nice picture stone. Another boulder. I managed to get this one out all on my own sim, so I'm happy with that. It'll probably face that way. I didn't have the heart to cut that bit off, but we'll see what happens. This one here, it's a bit weird. I'm probably going to have to do some more cutting with it, basically. But this guy here's got an awful lot of potential. So essentially, I don't think this one's called, you couldn't call this one a rub. This one's essentially opal rough, very thin piece of opal rough. But, you know, nice. And here's another piece of doubleting material. So it would stand out on its own, probably. Let's just get it over there. Can you see how clear it can become? But, you know, you put it onto a black background, as I'm going to put it down in a minute, or even now. And you'll see that depending on which side you put it down onto, probably that's the better side. Beautiful little doublet. This one stands out on its own right. This one's a darker opal than you'd think. It's just a bit thin, but it's got an awful lot of colour that just pops through it at any given moment. Like, it's just ready to attack you with a lot of colour, so I like that one. This piece, meh, I would call that opal rough. I wouldn't worry too much about it. This one here, I like it. Probably only good for a picture stone, but what I think you'll find is that this one was cut from some rough that was very, very difficult to deal with, and so I'm very pleased to get anything out of it whatsoever. I like it. There's a few reds, there's a few blues, there's a few greens sitting through, and if some of the cracks resolve themselves, it should be a nice opal. What have we got here? Yeah, here we go. Some fabs. These are genuine black opals. There's a comment section if you think I'm wrong on that one. Have a look at the side. You can see what the potch is doing. So, in case you're wondering, a black opal, there is a colour system. And so if this one actually comes out as black under that colour system, then it's known as a black opal. Confusingly, the other ones are known as dark opals. Like, so this one will probably be considered a dark opal, for example. Reason for that, probably marketing, I don't know. Once again, there's a comment section. If you know why an essentially white opal is called dark, be my guest. Explain. This one, I like this one because the colour pops out. Now, there are a few things that actually contribute to value of a stone. One of them is the background colour, the blackness of the opal, so to speak. The other one is the brightness of the colour. And this one has got the brightness of the colour, even though it's just got a dark background. So that one, once it gets turned into something, will turn into something really nice. The most valuable colour in the opal lexicon is red. This one's got red aplenty. Now the next thing you look for is the red next to the blue. If it is, then you've got yourself a nice valuable stone. This one's a little bit small and it's white, so, you know, points off for that, but it's not a bad stone in its own right. That one will come out pretty good. I'm probably not going to doublet it. If I have to cut it down too far, I'm going to have to turn it into a doublet, but it looks okay. This one has been cut off another piece and it's almost ready to go, but it might have to end up as a doublet. But it's a nice little long one. What else have we got here? Yes, this one. This one here. That one might have to be just doublet material. We'll find out. But this one, no way. I love this one. This is, as far as, you know, what a valuer would consider, not, well, more valuable than a blue stone, I suppose. And it's black, so pretty good. but not, you know, super duper valuable, not really really bright, but I like it. I love these mossy patterns that are kind of just sitting endemic to the stone, because it kind of pervades all through the thing. Here's something a valuable would like though. This one's darker, not black, but darker. And it's got all of the colours we like, all in the spot we like. So, you know, a valuable would like that, and I like it too. What else have we got here? Here's a trouble stone. So it's bluey purple, but that in the middle there, that piece of sand, it might go all the way through. That's annoying. But you never know. It could come good. I think I'm going to cut it in half though, because there's no point in risking. Eventually, if you do cut them in half, usually you find out that the two halves are about the same size as what you would find the final stone would be if you just kept grinding it down. Cut early, I say. Let's have a look at some of the fun that we can have with... Okay, this one is dark to black, depending on how we grade it. It's just been cut a little bit too thin, and so there's some dark material, black material really, in the back, and so that might come up good. If not, double it, but I think that'll actually make a good solid stone. These two here. This one here, nice, good bluey black. This one here. Once again, nice black opal. Whoop. Those two there, they definitely rate in and under a carat. Here is a doublet that's actually been pre-done. So this is what happens when you put two good compatible bits of material together. You get yourself a doublet, and I'll just polish that one up and it'll look absolutely mighty fine. That's a good example of why you do it. Oh, I love this one. That one is going to be a smasher. I'm going to just do a few more of these. This one, I'm either doubleting it or just keeping it on its own, because technically it's a black opal, it's just a bit thin. Another one with heaps of colour. Starting to rain, so I'm going to cut this short now. Beautiful little dark opal there. This one, I reckon I'll be able to get something out of that. Might even get a black opal out of it, but I don't think so. Nice one though, about 3 carats I reckon. This one here is a nice little crystal, and I'm thinking of keeping its misshapen look. Just for something different, I'll just basically keep each facet as it is and try and polish up each facet and keep it nice and clean and see what it looks like. Because that, I think I could then, you know, put it into a piece of jewellery, maybe do some wire wrapping with it or something like that. I reckon that would look great. I'm going to get you some of the... We've got to really go now. Okay, my phone's getting wet. There you go, look at that blue amongst the red. That's good. There's another little thing. Here's another red one with a bit of blue in it. Yeah. Now I am going to make these into opals, most of them. If you're interested in buying a rub, I'm happy to sell one to you. I'll try not to rip you off. Here's a that one, it's got an overcast, so that one looks better when the sun's out. Just trust me, it's a good one. What else have we got? Let's see if we can do like 2 or 3 more and then we're going. Where's my tweezers? Oh yeah, here's one. That's nice. Nice-ish. Ooh, wee. Oh yeah, we've got this material here. I've got a whole heap of these dilemmas. These stones, these like they're really, really colourful, and yet they're really thin, and they've got that black on top. I should try and cut it through from that side maybe, but you know, I really like that one, and I don't know what to do with it. I like this one too, don't know what to do with it. Nice little boulder. Beautiful one actually. Here, look at this black opal. Yeah, tiny but mighty. Oh, this one's good, but it's once again very clear. So you have a look at that. So I might keep that one clear. I might double it, but just for something interesting, because I reckon it's cool. That one's just a nice soft stone, really. Bit of a meh stone. Once again, probably people wouldn't value them particularly highly, but I would. Nice one. You can see some reds and greens together, which is good. This one here, it's another of those scenery stones. Hopefully I'll be able to get that to clear up a bit. It's a bit milky in the middle there, but maybe if it clears up as you polish it, it might look good. What else have I got? This one. Yeah, this is an interesting experiment in treating Lightning Ridge opal. What happened was the clear stuff went white, and yeah, well, there it goes, and it tends to run away. I don't know. Okay, this one is another of the milky ones. That'll look okay when I polish it. Another dark to black opal. Once again, once you give it all the right kind of polishing, it should be okay. What else have we got here? I'll just put these out and we'll just zoom in so you can see them at any rate. And I'll try and move them around so that you can see the colours, like this one here. Look at this. Look at this. That one's just shiny, 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 shiny. So I love that. I love that kind of stone. Leave that one there. There's another red one there. There's another nice big 2 or 3 carat blue one. Let's zoom right in and have a good look at them. You can see. Bearing in mind, I've explained that these are on a black background, so some of them, I think like this one here, I suppose, if you take it off. No, that's okay. That was alright. It's very hard to determine which ones are going to not look good. Yeah, so that one, it looks a bit milky like this, but you put it onto the black background and it pops out a bit more. Be aware of that. But most of them, as a general rule, they look okay. This one, oh, I love that one. There you go. Just thought I'd show you a few. Oh, there's a nice red one sitting there. Oh yeah. Another nice red one right there. Seen that one? I think that one needs to flip over. Hopefully, anyway. Yeah, look at that. Galaxy pattern or whatever they call it. That one probably needs... I'll either make this a mistake or a feature. Let's go in really close. Are you going to show? Yeah, there we go. You can see that sand that's sitting in there. So that's just sitting literally within the stone. And maybe what I'll do is I'll polish it all up and we'll see what that looks like within there. Technically it's an inclusion, but I like inclusions. I think that, you know, having all the same kind of stones, especially when they've got so much personality, is a bit boring. So, you know, tell us what you think in the comments section. I reckon that we should do some more interesting things. One of the other things I would like to do, let me grab one of the doublets. Not just a doublet, but see this one, for example. So this is doublet material. It's very shiny, should go on a black base, but what if you get, I don't know, a dark base like this one, and this is probably not the best example, but you know, it's already gone for 20 minutes. You get a dark base and you put, you know, this on top of the dark base or vice versa, you know, to get a doublet of 2 precious opals together. Come on, you can do this. No, you can't. There we go. You know, something like that. I'm not necessarily saying this one, but I think we should be more creative with our doublets, because that's more effort that we have to do to make them, and they're worth less. So let's try and be creative and make something cool. Yeah, this one, I love it. Alright, that's probably all I've got to show you. You can, you know, pause and peruse and enjoy the opals. I love them in this form, and I love it when they get made, but I also like making them into this form in the first place. Now you see it, now you don't. Alright, I think I've had enough fun now. Have a lovely afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Phil out.